Okay. Hello, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, and welcome to the final game of Monster Hearts 2, Absolution, set in the Dark Americana series. If you've been following us along, you know all these fine players and their characters, and the twists and turns and troubles we've gotten into. If you haven't, go back and check us out, because we're not going to be doing introductions today because this is our final session. Let's just get into things. Because last time we left off at a theater rendezvous, which for one of our members ended up with taking more than popcorn out of the theater. With another character, it ended up with emotional turmoil. With another character, it ended up with emotional cleansing slash leaving a bad lover behind. And for another, well, it's been a few nights, hasn't it, Neve? So I feel like Absolution is coming to a head. There is at least one monster in town. We have set up that there are a few monster hunters, and people in town have started showing up dead. Most of them ripped to pieces, one with some blood, but I don't know if people in Absolution really care the state of sanguination when one of their members are torn apart. So I think that the next day school has to be canceled. Three school-aged kids have turned up dead recently, and everything is just becoming so tumultuous and troublesome. But I think hmm, after the theater, let's see. Does anyone have a scene they would like to hard frame during a time of trouble in the town, or should I try and set up something and see where we go from there?
I have one that I'd like to set up, if that's all right. It's actually later that night, before the next day.
Yes, that sounds perfect. That might be
Um,
better than just saying school's out.
so I think so. We ended with Dag, um, sort of running away from Ryan as Ryan came upon him feasting on this body in the woods, and the scene enters back in on the picture of Dag standing in front of Ryan's house late into the night, now early morning, where he's clearly walked all the way here from the theater, and you can still see the blood dried and matted on his clothing. And Dag is going to climb up the side of the house onto the I'm picturing there's like a garage, and Ryan's window overlooks that, and Dag climbs up to that window and then just knocks on the window, hoping to wake Ryan up.
I think it takes a few times, but Ryan will eventually realize someone's at his window. The lights turn on, and you can see he has a baseball bat as he's coming to the window to check it out. As and he see like do we see like just Dag's face like near the window as he get
Yeah, it's Dag kind of crouched, sitting in the window, looking, you know, kind of wet and just like a mess. Maybe there's even some red around his mouth. Though you can see he's probably like tried to use the snow as a bit of a crew to wash what he can away.
yeah. So Ryan will open the window. I think like tug you in. Like, are you being followed? Did the murderer find you? Oh shit! You look terrible.
No, no, I'm everything's fine, Ryan. I I'm really sorry to wake you up at this time. I need to see you. I need to make sure that everything was okay. That you,
No, Andrew's dead. You went to go get some food. I thought maybe you had been kidnapped too. You never came back. I found his body just mutilated in the forest. I thought it was your footsteps. I thought you'd been caught with him." And he begins to start crying.
And as Zach's listening to this, and the wheels now are turning in his head, and he's piecing together, Ryan maybe didn't see me. And so Dag will put his arm around Ryan and say, "No, no, I found Andrew too, and I just got so scared, and I didn't know what to think, so I just ran. I thought maybe there was, yeah, someone out there. I got so afraid. I
Lying to
mean,
your
what
friend.
are we gonna do now?"
And he notices how you look, and I think he will. Ooh, I think he'll offer to let you shower off while he takes care of your clothes.
Yeah,
And of course, like there's got to be like a small scene of like this domestic bliss of Ryan dumping your blood-soaked clothes in a trash bag. Then like it frames to seeing Dag just like getting some water running through his hair, looking like a hair shampoo commercial with blood running down his face. Then cut back to Ryan just using bleach to clean up the blood on the floor. Cut back like to Dag's feet, and we just see all this red washing off into the just like a back and forth between like this is an advertising for this cleaning product. It'll help you cover up a murder. This is a soap. It'll help you cover up a murder. And like at the end, I imagine that Ryan is sitting on his bed, waiting for you to enter, and he's laid out clothes on the bed. He's at his door, and like when Dag knocks, he'll open, but he will be a gentleman this time and have his hand over his eyes just in case.
yeah, and so I think Dag comes out from the shower, right, with a towel around his waist. She says, "Oh, Ryan, don't be silly.
He will
Listen,
slowly lower his hand and take in Dag as his full, wet, murdery magnificence.
mm-hmm.
Do you want to roll to turn him on at this point?
I do." And so I think like the completion of or the effect of that is Dag kind of like moves forward and sits beside him and just says, "Ryan, I'm not gonna let anything happen to you." And that's like the moment, right? So
That's the power move. Yeah, so carry +1 forward on this at the very least. And I don't think Ryan has any conditions.
seven, but -1 would be 6, but then +1 makes it back 7.
Good. So yeah, I think Ryan will like pull you in close, like start a. I think like he has a robe on, and he opens it up, and you realize that he has like very few pajamas on under it, and presses chest to chest. I hear body heat's a great way to stay warm until you need clothes.
And there's no words, just the sound of lips. And I think that's where we fade
Yeah,
away.
yeah, like it's an immediate fade. Like it's not a fade to black. It is like a boom, Vanta.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That
you
went better than I expected. All right, cool.
you get to create a new hunger for yourself, and you're not
Yeah.
limited to the list.
Oh, okay. Um, let me think on it for a second. If you want to carry on.
And so I think like it will be the next day. With I think most kids or most teenagers were waiting to go to school, and like turning on the news, and it's pretty odd, I imagine, for kids in Ontario, Canada, to have what would amount to a snow warning. But murderer in town. Uh, gathering groups of children together may be dangerous. Please keep an eye on your kids and stay home today. So, how does Tinks feel about like this sort of laissez-faire take on this? I mean, murder in town, yeah, but just keep an eye on people? That sounds a bit blasé, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it Tinks is a little on edge. I mean, I think that I feel like there's like part of her that's concerned, but then there's this other part of her that's like just she's at a level of not caring, and so she's just I think she's probably out and about anyway, just like meandering.
I think Tinks will probably be picked up by, unless anyone wants to run into a meandering Darkest Self,
I think Tink sees Neve coming out of the hunting supply shop in town, carrying a large parcel.
I think that Tinks kind of stops dead in her tracks and just kind of like glowers you.
Yeah, me. Look, I'm sorry for what's happened.
You're always sorry, aren't you, Neve? And she's gonna kind of try to rush past you.
I'm going to grab her by the arm.
And I think that Tinks is going to kind of snarl and say, "What do you want from me?"
I want to make things right.
I think that we see Tinks kind of her face goes kind of slack, and then the tips of one of the sides of her mouth kind of like curls into a half smirk. Do you now? Is that a promise, dear? And she steps forward.
I told you I wouldn't lie to you.
You've already broken one promise to me. You don't want to break another one.
No, I don't. There's something that needs to be done. This town's in danger. And she'll throw the box containing the hunting rifle that she's just bought in the back of her van.
This town's always been in. Sorry, what?
No, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Laura.
No. I think that she probably just says, "This town's always been in trouble. What's the difference now?"
The difference now that it's not in trouble from me, it's in trouble from something worse.
What can be worse than you?
Oh, you have no idea.
Say, yeah, and that is bitter.
I think that's shutting me down.
Yeah, shut Neve down.
So that is a 5.
Neve, who is this rifle for? I mean, like, who are you hunting?
I'm hunting Siobhan.
That's what I thought. Okay. So, I think that's when they like you guys are outside one of those convenience news electronics stores with TVs in the window, and local news comes up, and I think it Oh, and this is odd because it is reporting on the other side of the tracks as you see the news. And Neve, you recognize Joseph's house with the police tape around it, the police tape from the white side of town.
Fuck. Listen, Tinks, you may not care about anyone else here, but this is my home. I can't let this go on. You may not care about these people. You can be as heartless as you want, but I have a place here, and I intend to do something
That's
about
coming
this.
from you.
And I'm trying to shut Neve down at this. I'm trying to shut Neve down. I'm trying to shut Tinks down at this point.
Okay.
Feel free to.
So that's an 8.
Oh, good. And do you want to take? I think you could tag myopic and spend a string if you would like to boost that to a 10. But
Let me see how many. Well, I don't have any strings on Tinks, so no, I won't be doing that.
Good. Well then.
So I come across poorly.
Did you get 2 choices since you were cold as ice?
Yes. I will take a string on Tinks, and I will use my Diva Tantrum move. When you shut someone down, you get a new option. The character marks experience if they give you what you want.
You want an ally to hunt Siobhan?
No, I want Tinks. You know the people who were hunting my sister. Take me to them, please.
Tinks kind of rolls her eyes. Fine, whatever. Someone's got to keep an eye on you. Make sure you don't wreak any more havoc. Let's go.
Thank you. And I'm gonna hop in my truck. Well, I'm gonna get into my truck.
Yeah, Tinks is gonna hop in the passenger seat.
And I think that's seen there, unless we want to go directly to Red Annis.
So I want
Red
to check
Annis.
with our ghosty ghost. What are you doing this morning?
I would like to give Dag a call sometime in the morning.
So, Dag, the cell phone that totally did not get thrown out with your pants and everything, is on the bedside table next to the bed. But are you the one who answers, or will it be Ryan? Because who is next to the phone when it rings?
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, I think it's next to Ryan. And so either I'll leave it up to you whether he answers it or like picks it up, sees that it's James, and then hands it over.
Yeah, I think he just like nudges you instead. Phone, just like half asleep, half awake, and like you have to drape yourself over him and grab the phone and slide back into bed.
And it's like an older style phone, so it's a flip it open. And James, what is it?
Hey, Dag, where are you?
I'm at Ryan's.
Is he there?
It'd be kind of weird if he wasn't. Yeah.
Okay. Look, I want to talk to you about last night. Is there some way we could meet up? Like in public, preferably.
What's this about? I don't know that there's anything to talk about last night.
The fuck do you mean there's nothing to talk about last night? You and I were both there.
Look, I got what I needed out of the night. I don't really know what your long-term plan is, but look, I guess if you want to meet up, we can get a cup of coffee or something.
Yeah, that would be good, because I mean, shit, Dag, I like you and everything, but like this is not the time to be thinking about yourself.
All right. If you say so. Meet me at.
Are you shutting Dag down?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we can do that. All right. Oh, did that roll? Come on. Let's try this. There we go. That's an 11 plus some numbers.
That would be a 13 then. So yeah, you do well.
Okay. Let me see. Does Dag have any strings on me? No. I will take a string on Dag.
And Dag, you are trying to stay low. I think you have cleared yourself of the attention whore condition.
I'll take it. By the way, the new hunger I added was acceptance.
Ooh, and for me, with hungers you get from your sex move or a spirit to corpse, once you satisfy them, they disappear because I don't want you to end up. I once had a one shot where I ended up with 7 hungers. That was not ideal.
Fair. So yeah, that's just there's kind of like this sort of long pause, and then you hear, all right. There's a Tim Hortons down the road. Just can you meet me there in like 15 minutes? I'll put my pants on.
Oh, I pause for a minute when you say that. All right, I'll be there. In the meantime, I would like to do a gaze into the abyss regarding Siobhan.
Please do.
Did I get an 11 again? I think so.
Yep, just the same. It came up. It's got an 11 with the exact same die.
Yeah, I thought I did something wrong, but the dice spun and they came up 11, so that's I think like a 12 total.
Yep. So,
I'm specifically trying to assess whether she has some kind of weakness or some kind of metaphorical blind spot, something that would be exploited if we were trying to.
I think what you see is like it'll start off a bit confusing with the. I think you see the town of Absolution and like this line of fire down the middle, literally keeping one side from the other. And Siobhan, a vampire, walks through the fire to the res and seizes Joseph, and you see her drink from him, and her being caught by his sister Alex before she leaps out the window and jumps away. And I think what you get from this is it's her pride, her ego. She's feeling unstoppable now.
Got it. Okay, sounds good. So I will be getting to the Tim Hortons first.
Yeah, I think like we are passing the Tim Hortons, but then we realize we're passing it in Neve's truck. So we will go with the since we just saw that good gaze into the abyss, we will head off and see how other people deal with that. And yeah, I imagine Tinks is giving like what directions she knows about this, and like I like to imagine that somehow like we end up at a biker bar. We're not sure if we're still in Absolution because like it's a small town. Maybe it does or does not have a sleazy biker bar, but we're definitely at one now. And it's one of those things where it's like there are a few loose motorcycles, then like 11 tightly compacted ones that are in order, that they have been lined up, that they are the gang. Oh, and Alex's Alex's motorcycle that she was working on is here, Neve.
Thank you.
I don't need your thanks. Let's go. What are we here for anyway?
I I can't let my sister carry on doing what she's doing.
And then I think that Tinks just now puts it all together. Like she's looking at the parcel, she's looking at Nave, she's looking at the bar, and she's like, okay, yeah. All right, well.
I need to ask you something, Tanks. Do you think this is recalibrating the scales of justice?
I think that it is definitely leaning that way, yes.
I think you witnessing someone trying to reset the scales of justice pulls you out of your darkest self.
Oh, how exciting. Okay.
You don't have to come in with me, but thank you for this.
I mean, I'm here. Might as well help out, right?
I'm gonna look at her. Thank you. And I'm gonna get out of the truck and make my way to the entrance of the bar.
Oh, and I think this is helped Tanks get rid of the myopic condition she sees further than her face. Yeah, Neve, you get into the bar. Your club foot is holding you back a bit, but as soon as you enter, like, it's one of those things where we're not sure if the music is diegetic or not, but it stops, and the people begin turning to look at a very out of place young lady in a bar.
Do I see Alex there?
Um, you see Alex at a table with a gang of ashy-looking bikers, and she has like this huge drink in front of her, half empty, completely alcoholic, and no one is giving her shit about it.
I think I'm gonna go direct to Alex. Alex, what happened? I saw something on the news. I saw your house.
I know you didn't do it. She leapt in ways you couldn't do it even if she had your face. Thought you'd broken into the house, thought you were making up with him. He was still moving.
Is he okay?
He's dead 3 times over, Neve. Once by your sister. Once when he came back from the dead, and once when I had to put down a vampire.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry.
I think that's when the red cap from the first session looks up, fanged shark-like teeth in her mouth. If you're so sorry, you can help us hunt this bitch down.
What do you need?
Location, information, weaknesses, anything really works.
She has a chamber under the prestige. Sorry, the pristine. I'm going there myself. I need to do this.
You see Alex like chug the rest of her drink. I'm going too.
And I'll stop and look at Tinks. You don't have to come and do this.
Nah, sounds like fun. And then she kind of looks over at the empty glass that Alex had. Can I get one of those first, though? And is looking over to the barkeep.
I think the red cap will look kind of miffed at this, like, that's a drink for morning. What have you lost?
Oh, my soul, the usual. You know how it is, dearie.
They will order you the emotion killer special.
Actually, make that 2.
Oh, chug, chug, chug.
Thanks. I need to ask you something.
Shoot.
I brought a bag into the bar. I reached down into the bag and I pull out a knife and hand it to you hilt first. When this is over, this needs to end.
Tinks is gonna kind of look at you, look to the blade, look at you, and she's gonna hold out her hand.
And I'm going to hand you the knife, and I will spend the string because I was going to tempt you to do it anyway. So gain another point of experience.
I am shocked.
Oh, one last thing. Barman, can I have 3 bottles of brandy, please?
And he laughs. Only brandy I know's on Moesha.
No idea what that means. Whatever.
Yeah, this is a dive bar. You can have like Jack Daniels at best.
I'm looking for something I can make into a Molotov, basically.
Oh, you mean the cleaning liquors? Yes, you will get some supplies.
Thank you.
So yeah, let's go to the Tim Hortons and actually have some coffee with our boys.
I've got a quick question because I forgot this from the last game. So I think Dag formed an empathic bond with Servan, right? What does that entail? Is that like a constant undercurrent, or is it a thing that flares from time to time?
It will flare when narratively convenient, I think, and it also is a trigger for certain reactions and hard moves to pull upon.
Excellent.
Which one of you arrived to the Tim Hortons first?
I think that was me. When Dag walks in, I'm probably, stuffed into a booth or a side corner table, whatever, somewhere, and I'm pretty much sleepless, still coming down from the adrenaline of last night. I've got my dark anime hoodie pulled up over my head, and I've got this little thing of coffee, clustered between my fingerless gloves, and I'm just sipping on it, trying to stay awake. Dag, unless there's some specific way you'd like to enter, I will just kind of motion to you to have a seat whenever I see you come in.
Yeah, I think Dag walks in. You can see he's in some of Ryan's clothing, so maybe it doesn't fit completely right. But he looks like He looks like, you see those people that like you can tell they're just having a good day. Dag looks like he's having a good day. He's got a bit of a strut to him, but he sees you and heads over and just sits into the opposite side.
Oh, you look like you had a good night.
Honestly, yeah.
I'm confused. How did you go through whatever the hell that transformation was last night and then turn around and so nonchalantly go sleep over with Ryan?
That's just who I am. It's just what I do.
Oh, that leads me to question number 2. What are you? Because I'm familiar with whatever the hell Siobhan is and whatever the hell Neve is, but you're something different. What is up with you? You scared the hell out of me last night.
I am what I am. I am a lot of things. I am powerful when I want to be. I am shy when I want to be. I can be many things. And right now, I'm having a pretty good day, and I'm hoping you're not going to ruin it by trying to drag me into some sort of melodramatic bullshit that you got involved with.
Jesus, shut him down. I think you can definitely tag traumatized at the very least. If I think you're a ghoul. Also tag delicious if you'd like.
So that is over 10s. Because tagging adds 1, right?
Tagging adds 1, you add a total of +2.
Yeah, so that's 12 total. So choose one from below. I'll take one forward.
So Dag is looking smug and seems to be in like Karen mode of, if it doesn't affect me, then I don't want to speak to your manager. How do you feel, James?
Defeated, but irritable is the secondary emotion on top of that. So I'm kind of leaning into that one a little bit more. And I will reply, Dag, I don't have any problems with you, but I feel like you at least deserve a warning. This Siobhan character who you got into that scrap with last night, I think you and I both know what her plans are for this town and everyone in it. She wants domination. And if what you're after is power or whatever you're into, the town's not big enough for the both of you. And if it's not your problem now, it's going to be sooner or later. So I'm terrified personally, and I don't know if I'm able to take her down myself. And at this point, I don't really trust Neve to help me. And you're right. I've got my back kind of against the wall and I'm looking for someone, but this is something that does affect you. Would you be willing to help me deal with her? And I'll spend a string to tempt on that.
So how do you feel, Dag? I mean, this may be, as James said, this may be territory for two predators right now, but can it stay that way?
Yeah, I'm quick out of game question with the spending a string to tempt someone. I guess I can ask for something, right? Does that work for the situation?
He is you're spinning this string to tempt him to do what concretely, James?
Concretely, I want Dag's help in hunting Siobhan and eliminating her.
Yes, I mean, you can either accept that and mark experience, or you can deny it and not mark experience. Dad.
Okay. So Dag looks at you and considers the offer and says, if I help you, then I'm going to want some help in the future myself. You know my secret now. And you're right. Two predators can't stay in one area together for too long. So you can help me pick off the weaker ones, so to speak.
I think we both want the same thing. I don't have a problem with you, but I have all kinds of problems with Siobhan, her kin, everything she represents. So as far as I'm concerned, if you want to be, you and me are allies.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
I think that helps you get rid of the condition parasite, James. So yay.
Oh, good deal.
Don't know if teaming up with a predator would help you get rid of traumatized, though. Well, though you are attacking your creator, it could.
Yeah, it's a concrete step toward it. I don't know if that counts for resolving the condition.
I think it does, because I mean, it'll be fun to traumatize you again when you actually start going into the battle.
Yes, that is true.
So both
okay.
of you mark experience for helping him clear traumatized.
And Dag, you get the extra experience for the tempt string, I guess.
Yes,
So I marked 2?
you do.
Oh, cool. Woohoo.
Yeah, and I assume that that we are going to do we want to start heading for the pristine at this point as a do the group thing of, well, I didn't know you were coming here. I didn't know you were coming here. Let's go.
Yeah, that sounds good. Before we go into this, do we all still have the harm that we obtained the previous night?
Yes, you do, unless you have taken means to alleviate it.
All right.
Let me check your. Oh dear. Oh, all of you. Oh dear. And so yeah, I think we will catch up at the actual pristine. I want to say that like Dag and James are kind of in the back, like sneaking about, trying to find a way in. Then motorcycle noises come out front. And, just look to the side, motorcycle gang, Neve's truck pulling up.
God damn it.
So yeah, do you go to meet with them as they pull up, or are you going to try to hide and go in a different way? It seems that the groups have gathered.
I'll ask, just so we're on the same page, I'll ask Dag, do you know why the hell these people are here?
Hey, I only have a faint idea of why I'm here.
All right. Well, I'm not too keen on revealing myself to Neve at this point. As far as I can tell, Neve is not in cahoots with Siobhan, but I can't be sure, and I sure as hell don't trust them. So, all right, let's just see if we can go through, an emergency exit around the back or something like that.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I mean, do we, if we're taking care of Siobhan, and you said you don't trust her, should we try and take care of Neve too? I mean, what's Neve gonna do if we doing her sister.
That's a good point. We'll play it by ear. If we have the opportunity, maybe we'll decide on it then.
All right, I'll keep an eye out.
Okay, so I think I need one of you to keep your cool to see if you can find a way in that is not the front door.
I kind of think James is, sort of leading the effort, so I think it makes more narrative sense for him to be the one. But
That is fair to me. That's what I was thinking, actually.
I'll give it a go.
Dag seems more like the person who just kick in a door and hope for the best.
I'm trying to keep it under wraps as long as I can.
yeah, in his current emotional state, Dag would definitely just kick in a door.
All right, this is a +2. That is a 9 total.
You can find your way. You can find a way in that will not alert the others, but they will find Siobhan first.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, so you guys are like getting into the play. Getting in, like being very careful. Meanwhile, we get to the front. And I think we see the bikers pulling up. The pristine is closed this morning, and it's like oh no, how will we ever get it? Brick goes through the glass door.
I have keys.
Keys are boring.
Bricks are universal.
And that's when the burglar alarm goes off. Thanks for that. And I pull the hunting rifle out, cock it, strippers clip in. Let's do this then.
I think that Tinks is going to go up to Neve and just kind of like drape herself over your shoulder and say, I'm pretty good with one of those.
I haven't got a clue how to use this. And I'll hand it to her. If you know how to shoot, then you do better than I will.
Oh, I never said I knew how to shoot, but her eyes light up as she takes the rifle.
Yeah.
Let's do this then.
I think
So I think we move in and we start going down to the basement where the coffin room is.
I would say I figured Neve knows exactly how to the hidden door is over here. 5182. Okay, we're inside. Twist the statue's head a quarter degree left. You keep going around, and there's a difference. The air smells of copper, of rot. The mustiness that is pervaded it is faded with these modern scents of death and decay. And I think there are a few lights on down here, but to make, I think modern day creepy, instead of torches, that are those lights on strings that are flickering on and off.
So I'll move downstairs, but before we actually go into the main, I think it's one of these spiraling staircases that goes down, one of the old-fashioned Gothic ones, and I'll take Tink's hand as we go down.
Tinks is gonna squeeze your hand as they descend.
One last thing.
Yeah.
I'm probably not coming out of this. And even if I come out of this, I'm not coming out of this. And she reaches into her pocket and takes out a piece of paper that's folded up. Whatever happens, can you give this to James?
Tinks looks at you kind of curiously, looks at the note, and then just kind of like tucks it into her bra and says, yeah.
Let's do this then. Ladies, would someone take care of that door?
And I think I imagine that there's this is concrete tunneling. There are like hallways, but I like. Do you want there to be like a main room, like in Queen of the Damned, in Blade, and those
Oh
vampire?
yes, yes, and I think it's pretty much set up like a temple to Siobhan itself. So her coffin's actually up on this dais at the top, and
There's this like room from Silent Hill 4, The Room, which was like there's like this stone semicircle, but then like in the middle like this pillar, like it's almost like a half pillar, half staircase. That's like the most important sacrificial part in the room. I imagine she has to feel so self-important that her coffin's on display like that, like in the highest position of the room.
everyone can see it no matter where you stand in the room.
Yes, and but I think that's when you I think you come across Lauren Lee, who had just been at the cave at the wrong time after discovering Eli missing and reported Siobhan to the news. She couldn't have that. You find I think different people we've seen in the background, like maybe like named extras from other TV shows that have been paid like an extra $50 to play dead for a scene. But like it is an abattoir now. Like she has been feeding nonstop since she's waken up, and I think you hear this splash of something too thick to be water, and you look over in like one of these corners. There's that darkness, and the light flickers on and off, flickers on, and we see Siobhan in a claw-footed bathtub, Elizabeth Bathory style.
Sister,
We're no longer mortal. You're my child, dear one.
I was never your child.
Never a good one. You're trying to stop all my fun. And that one, she'll point at Alex, didn't even think I was you. What use do you have anymore if you're no longer my double?
Things change. I'm different. I've grown. You never have.
I think
Still, you're still the creature that you were all those years ago.
and Neve's talk is like echoing up these stairs as James and Dag enter the stairwell, and we hear like I think like, they have to be able to hear this confrontational speech as well. But Siobhan, slurps through the blood and starts sliding out of the tub. A sheen of well placed red liquid keeping her decent for the screen, and like that's like when the shadow, like every time something would like be seen by the camera, the light flickers out at the perfect moment. This town will be a stepping stone. It's close enough to the railway. I think I'll take over the railway. Take over shipping in Ontario. That's what this place is called these days, right?
It's what it's called. But you're not going anywhere. This ends here.
Her fangs drop. It ends for one of us.
It ends for both of us. You think I'd come here alone? I don't have the strength to take you down. And I'll stop and look over my shoulder. And I think that's when the bikers pile into the room.
Yeah, and would you like to use the bikers to lash out physically?
I get to use them as a gang in this instance.
You would take +1 forward and be dealing +1 harm with these bikers.
I think so. Then yes. And
Sweet.
I think my fangs drop and I go all vamp, and I just lunge at her.
Yes, and then of course, the vampire battle hisses like cats. And I think you have a +1 forward.
Oh, it doesn't matter. I rolled. I rolled a 2.
Ooh. Yeah, I think you throw yourself at Siobhan, but I think Alex is hurt, and the other bikers she's with know her anger. And I mean, you said you weren't coming out of this. I think that might be literal take 2 harm as the Molotov cocktail breaks open at your and Siobhan's feet.
Oh, excellent.
And of course, Siobhan will take 2 harm as well. But
Okay.
and I think as the fire illuminates the room, as the perfect chest level to keep Siobhan decent during this. We can't have sexiness during all this family-friendly violence. And that is when the flames will illuminate James and Dag's faces as they enter this main room. And I like to imagine they come right in, like Tinks slides into the frame with a hunting rifle. Yeah, and you see Siobhan and Neve just fighting and snarling in the flames. What do you all do?
I have a question for Neve. What emotion do you think Neve is experiencing, or at least conveying outwardly?
Rage, anger. I think 300 years of being used has just come to the fore.
Got it. Okay. I'm okay with delaying my course of action if Dag and or Tinks have anything that they want to do.
Yeah, I think that Tinks is probably going to be very caught up in the fight and probably do her shtick of throwing herself in the middle of Neve and Siobhan again.
That's a bad move. Keep your cool to see what happens.
My cold is not good. Ugh. Ugh. 4. That was very poor.
Yeah, Neve, you are thrown past the fire, and Siobhan grabs Tinks. Her fangs dig into Tinks's neck. Tinks, you would take 2 harm, except Siobhan has a string on you she will spend to bring this to 3. You are skirting death.
Cool.
You can go your darkest self or lose all strings you have on people, or you may die.
I'll go my darkest self. I like my strings.
Yeah, I think we see the burns on Siobhan's body healing from this potent fey blood coursing through her veins as she chugs it with one unnatural gulp, which should have ended Tinks's life when Titania's pretty much, nah, girlfriend, continues flooding her with glamour.
Can Tinks, I think that Tinks is probably going to whisper in her ear as she's feeding, "Miss me, dearie?"
And are you attempting to turn on Siobhan while being violated?
Yep.
Roll plus hot to turn on your attacker.
And then can I also spend the string that I have on her to get another +1?
You don't have to do that until after the roll.
Cool. Okay. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then so yeah, that's an 11.
You get another string on Siobhan, and I think she'll give herself to you in the fact that she will attack the other Fae before you. And as she breaks off the bite and leaps at the main biker, now that she's fully, I figure like the blood on her is going to become some kind of skimpy Vampirella uniform as the magic power flows through her in campy ways. So she is now dressed as she is now fighting the red cap biker boss.
May I suggest, so Dag, having entered into this area and now has a close physical proximity to Siobhan, and Siobhan, it seems like it's like sort of caught up in this powerful thrall of the fight. And so I feel like this would be a good narrative time for there to be like this wave of this empathic bond of this power flowing from Siobhan to Dag.
Yeah, I think no, you felt Tinks die under your fangs. You felt a new way of consuming vitality. You felt a new way of taking from people. And if Siobhan survives, she may teach you. And she may leave Absolution alone.
Yeah, and so Dag, just in a burst of feral energy, leaps from like the last couple of stairs and leaps at Neve to lash out at her.
Go ahead and do it. And I think this is definitely power and or thrill, so take +1 forward.
So lash out's volatile, right? Yes.
It is.
14.
Ooh. So that is he had the high ground, Neve. I'm sorry. And so yeah.
I'm fine with this.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I know you will. It's just I needed to be a horribly bad Joker because no one's ever made that joke. And Dag lands on Neve. If she had air in her lungs, it would have been knocked out. But I think having a 100+ pound Wendigo land on your chest kind of shocks you, doesn't it, Neve?
It does.
There's a narrative beat unless you want to keep your cool to act immediately.
No, I think I'm just shocked, and Dag can do whatever Dag's doing.
Don't forget to take 1 harm from the attack.
And I'm skirting death.
Oh dear. So, are you going to come back your darkest self? Lose all strings?
Are we using the expanded options from your?
We are not in this game, sadly.
Okay. I will. I think I'll go into my darkest self.
So a predator, yeah. So Dag, you have a moment as the Buffy face comes over Neve. You realize you have angered a very powerful predator. What do you do during this moment of reprieve?
I think I'm just going to continue attempting to attack Neve. I think at this point, Dag, this is a whole new rush of power. This opens up all new possibilities. I'm thinking that me and Siobhan maybe make a pretty good team. And if I kill Neve, that probably keeps us maybe to be able to work together. So I'm gonna stay on this course.
Sweet. My camera just went out for some reason, but sweet. I think first you need to take a greed thirst experience for taking the surprise that Neve had built up from her. you can take your advance before you decide to dig in harder. You are muted.
Sorry, I was mumbling to myself. I'm gonna take the satiety. Is that how you say that?
Satiety. I would suggest short rest for the wicked at this point.
I like that too. Let's do that one. Yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and so yeah, you roll to lash out physically again, then to continue your assault.
Reroll this. Here we go. Okay, there we go.
Actually, instead, because I think we don't need to do just like attack, react.
Yeah.
Neve, keep your cool to see if you can turn the tables on this tackle mount.
That would be a 9. And I will spend a string on Dag to push that to a 10.
You get a question about the scene.
Siobhan's made a mistake by feeding from Tinks. Siobhan's my sire. Power flows through her and down. Fae, Changeling, the Fae world, glamour, all the Fae magic is flowing through Siobhan at the moment. I think I'm tapping into that. I have an advance, and I'd like to take Darkest Power. Soul Pact. Soul Debt, sorry.
Oh
and
my!
actually be soul bound to change to Fae.
The Fae King, or like
Yes.
the whatever we shall call the leader of the Fae in Absolution.
Yes. Well, no, I think it's actually to Changeling, to Fae, the Fae world, the actual magic itself.
The Archfey.
Yes.
You become a warlock.
Yeah, effectively, yes.
Okay.
And my question is, how can I turn this back on Dag? How can I turn this new power back on Dag?
What two bargains did you pick?
I will. 1 second. I've got the sheet open in front of me. I will take. I'll take Elsewise Power, and I will take Strings Attached.
I would suggest Power flows through you over Strings Attached, but that is just me. But
okay. Yeah, I will take.
I mean, because like this is the final.
Yep. Okay, I will take Power flows through you.
But I would suggest the best way to do this is to. I mean, the Fey blood is the power of life itself. You can tell Dag is as dead as you are. If you channeled the Fey energy in such a way as like using the dragon move, I Am Wrath, to vomit Fey power directly onto Dag, it would really hurt.
Okay. So I will do that then.
Yeah, so
I'll give the Dark Power a string. And oh, Dag, you fucked up. You fucked up.
yeah, Dag, take
Green flame.
take 2 harm from the balefire emitting from Neve. As you are scorched off of her, please take the condition charred as well. Yeah, I think Dag has to roll off and roll about. James, this is going to shit real fast. What are you doing, Ghost?
It occurs to me in a moment of lucidity that this is the exact same shit Dag did the night before. And I have a bitter memory of the saying, fool me once, shame on you. And yet here we are the second time, and I have no excuses. But all of that is going to be quickly brought to the back of my consciousness when I see Siobhan biting into Tinks. That is going to hard reactivate the traumatized condition for me. And I think at that point, my mind is going to go basically blank, and I shift into a position where I begin to kind of almost like relive or remember the horrific, pain and terror of that experience of being fed upon and killed and having your blood totally drained. And so just on principle, because I am so opposed to anyone ever having to experience that the way I did, I'm going to completely ignore the Dag and Neve conflict, and I'm going to just redirect my attention to slow motion running through this Molotov fire so I can get to Siobhan and try to bring her down. And if that means I have no weapons on me, if that means I just tackle her to the ground and begin trying to fight dirty and street fight and gouge eyes and all that stuff, then that's what we'll do.
Roll to lash out physically, please.
Right. Does the condition at fault for my death apply here?
It does, because you're traumatized.
All right. So this is going to be at a +1. And it's a 9 total.
So,
Actually, I'll spend a string to bring it up to a 10. That's my 1 string on her.
I was about to say, I'm going to, you could allow me to decide how bad the harm is, but spend 1 string to inflict that harm +1. Or
I'll do that instead of spending the string on her. I'll keep it.
Okay, then, so whatever this is going to be, it's going to be I think you shock her by leaping on her back, and your weight throws her off balance, throwing you both into the fire. She takes it worse. She takes a grand total of 3 harm. You take 1 from the flames licking at your corpus.
All right, we can work with that.
And I think at this point, like several of the Fey bikers have been killed at this point. They are thrown about the rooms. Way too. I think even Alex is against the wall, breathing shallowly with her tire iron cross held tightly. Tinks, what are you doing? I mean, Siobhan was thrown into the fire. You have a great shot right now.
Yeah, I think that Tinks is like thriving on all of this chaos, and like that outburst of like Fey magic was like, yes, she was enjoying herself. I think that she's kind of going to cackle as she kind of takes aim at Siobhan. Yeah, so.
Roll to lash out physically, please. This cannot go wrong with that -1.
Yikes. So we're at a crisp 5. Yeah.
Oh dear. Well, there is a clever way around this, I think. You can only spend a string to boost a roll once, but you can pull a string to give someone a condition. Would you want to pull a string to give her a condition to tag and then spend a string?
Oh. Interesting. Yeah, can do that. What condition do I want to give her?
Hunted? Prey?
Yeah, I like prey. That's good.
Okay, so tagging prey to a 6, spinning the second string for a 7. Will
Awesome.
she gain a string on you, or will I decide how bad the harm turns out to be?
I'll let her gain a string on me.
Good, because that doesn't matter, as I will just mention that scene in Scanners, heavy air quotations, as Siobhan's reign of terror is Gallagher ended in front of us all. The flames start dying out around her as I think the flames rise higher as her whatever energy was keeping her old corpse from burning finally fades away, and like paper, she just goes up a light, and all. Uh, I'm thinking that this will be probably close to the end scene before epilogues. I think, as like this seems to be a major ending point, but I think for Neve, all the energy that from the Fae that she had been holding back flows into you. Yeah, I think that beating up something that had claimed power over you for 3 centuries removes you from your darkest self. I mean, you gave Tinks the gun, and Tinks, you killed the person who killed you. Justice has been served. You're out of your darkest self. Yeah, I think you see the red cap lead biker holding a compress to Alex, congratulating her, like putting on like the congratulatory red cap as Tinks probably realizes Fey-wise, this means Alex is not surviving, as the red cap is being nice to someone who's dying from battle. Yeah, the abattoir of death is cleansed a bit. What do you all do?
Where's Dag at the moment?
Yeah, Dag, where you be? I mean, looks like you might have picked the wrong side.
Yeah, like the night before, Dag would like to run away.
Ooh.
And I would like to give the darkest power a string on me to use one of the vampire moves.
Inescapable?
Inescapable.
Okay. You can still run away, but she'll gain 2 strings on you.
Yeah.
Roll to run away and see how well this goes, because you gain the 2 strings because he's going to attempt.
Oh, whoops, wrong button. This one. This isn't. I don't think this is going well. Let's see. That's. Yeah, I think that's a 7. I think. Yeah, because I've got +2 volatile.
Yeah, so you can make a big scene, which I think is kind of harder to do at the moment. You can leave something behind, or run into something worse.
So I don't know what the inescapable thing is, but I'm picturing like running into something worse, as in like Dag like takes up the stairs and Neve has like somehow just is up at the top of the stairs blocking
Oh
him.
no, Neve isn't at the top of the stairs. The Archfey is,
Yeah.
and the Archfey is has to give someone who there are compensation bonuses for service, and someone's just joined the ranks as Dag's throat is grabbed and he is dragged down the stairs once more.
And I'll stand up, and I think Neve is standing up straight. Her back she's actually standing straighter than she has ever before. It's over. James, are you okay?
I'm fine under the circumstances.
Thanks.
I'm fine, but Tinks is going to start drawing out the dagger that you gave her and kind of looking at you with a kind of feral look in her eye.
I will give her a smile that's only for her, and turn my back on her as I turn to talk to James. There's something I need to tell you.
I'll stand up, still kind of like standing in the pool of Siobhan's blood. What do you want?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I didn't mean for what happened to happen. Do you remember that night?
I'm never gonna forget, no matter how much I want to.
Do you remember how I tried to bring you over?
I do. Yeah.
I wasn't strong enough. I'm sorry.
And with that, Tinks is going to leap at Neve.
And I think there's that moment as I say, I'm sorry, where the blade goes in and actually comes out the other side.
Perfect. I assume you are not fighting this, Neve.
I am not fighting this.
Do you think this is when Neve dies?
I think Neve disappears to ash,
Good Buffy reference.
but I will also spend a string to gain short rest for the wicked.
God's you evil bitch. I love it. So yeah, I think if everyone is okay, I think it will be time to go into epilogues now. I have some ideas to add to a few, I think, depending on what happens. But I want to see, let's go in reverse character keeper order. So, Tinks, what happens with you? I mean, you have some Fae bikers. There's the Archfey in Absolution. Does this become Fae Town?
I think that this definitely becomes a hot spot, but I don't think that Tinks never really felt like she belonged with the Fae.
If you're talking, I cannot hear it. Can the others?
The audio cut out a little bit there.
Dang.
Did I break up?
Oh,
Yes.
there we go. We can hear you now.
Yeah.
Aha. My internet's bad. Yeah, no, I think that Tink is kind of just this elusive presence. She's sometimes there, sometimes not. I think that she comes out maybe occasionally from the woods, but nobody ever really sees her much. Nobody ever really knew her, and nobody's ever really going to know her, at least in this time.
Understood. Dag, you've narrowly escaped two monstrous predators. What happens to Dag?
Oh, okay. I was going to ask, did I escape the Archfey? Because I had a very dark epilogue, if not. Okay, so if I did get away from that, I mean, I think Dag is going to continue trying to carve out his little, area of power and influence. I don't think he ever tries to hold James to the agreement they struck in the Tim Hortons. But he will do what he can to keep Ryan around. Even going so far as to threaten him if he were to try and leave or something like that, while feeding on other people that he's able to pull away.
So a completely healthy relationship where you keep your trophy husband in line by threatening to eat him like you do other people.
Yeah. I do think Dag, like, eventually it does come out to Ryan, right? Dag, like, tells him what he is, and shows him, and basically just says, like, you can't leave me.
You can't leave a predator. Oh dear, that sounds like an Urban Shadows like Chris Hansen special to leave a Wendigo. Yeah, James, what happens to you?
That kind of depends. I don't think Neve is permanently dead if short rest for the wicked is activated. How does that work?
Yeah, she will come back. So I mean, do you guys want to maybe tie epilogues together or ask
I
about it?
would you like me to do my epilogue first?
Um, uh,
'Cause I have something specific in mind.
then yeah, by all means.
Okay. So there's Dag's bedroom as he sleeps at night. He he's in his bed. The camera pans over and there's someone standing in the corner watching him as he sleeps. He turns, and as he turns, the shadow that was there is gone. But just as he stood at watch over someone as they slept, that's been turned now. Neve never comes back to the public, but she's there watching him and helping him from the shadows. Originally, I was going to take the move that allows me to do anything. I was going to actually try and change myself to the ghost, but
Again, same move, but we already had a ghost. You wouldn't be able to do that. Yeah, James, you are watched over. So what does James do?
So my understanding then is that Neve, you basically never return to public viewing.
no,
Um,
I watch from the shadows and
got it.
basically do what I can to help the town.
The thing that I think will occupy James's mind for quite some time is, and this actually happened when James was having that conversation with Neve, and Neve apologized. As he said that, I guess, as Neve said that she was sorry, um, James was right about to ask the question, why did you do it? Because James never really hated or wanted to hate Neve. I think that James just wanted to understand why. Um,
So
and
so I can answer that if we can rewind slightly before the
sure.
break goes through. I I I could tell you that I didn't want to be alone. I could tell you that, but I didn't want to be without you.
And then the knife goes through.
And then the knife goes through.
That's when it happens. Great. Um, no, I like that. That complicates things even more than it provides resolution, as is so often the case with these things. So I think in that case, James will probably spend the next quite a long while trying to find that kind of connectedness with other people in other places. And I don't see it ever really working out because quite frankly, nothing is ever going to be able to exactly replace like being devoured by a vampire. There's no substitute for that really. So I think that at a certain point he will move on, not because he isn't changed by it or because he's gotten over it, but because I think that the fight to try to resolve all the shit that happened to him is just not worth it anymore. It just makes your life worse. It just adds to the suffering that you're already experiencing. So I think that that's probably how James is going to live out the next few years in sort of this sad solitude that isn't altogether that much different from how he started the campaign or started the chronicle or whatever these things are called. But at least this time, there's a certain peace that comes along with it, and that made it all worth it.
Okay. Thank you all. This has been a wonderful game. I will stop recording and we will do debrief.